I've put together a montage of scenes that I think are really interesting when you go back and you look at them within context of the big reveal that we had in episode 6. I am specifically picking scenes with answers that we have already been given. If you have not watched all of the first 6 episodes of The Nevers, you do not want to watch this video. Let's take a look at each episode, shall we? So now we make our way into episode 2, Exposure.
But she's not a fool, and she's not a fucking baker.
Now this scene killed me the first time I saw it. She's not a baker. What do you mean? People thought she was a baker? Well, yeah. The woman that had True's body before this all started was a baker.
You'll also be wearing these, so people can comfortably identify you.
This is a great scene because the bows are then reintroduced. I think it's in either episode 4 or episode 5, where it becomes a law that the touched have to wear these bows. If you want to delve a little bit deeper into this theory, and maybe that's a video somewhere in the future about how Lavinia's bows and the bows that they use for the touched later on look exactly the same, and that shows more of Lavinia kind of playing all of these sides. You can go that way if you want, but like I said, we're only focusing on concrete answers, so I can't go off on tangents here.
These days, what does? I am an idiot. I'm trying to find someone the beggar king can't trace by looking at fucking street plans. I'm not from here. And everyone wants to see the cops, Bidlow's bridge cronies, now you, so friendly, on the run. Kid's a bit much, but I like the commitment. And Melody's got no idea what Mary's town can do. Mary is the voice of the... Oh. Huh.
Okay, so this is probably the biggest answer that we're given, and it's the earliest one. So Desiree's power, her touch ability, is to be able to allow people to, when they get really heated up in the moment, they just spill their guts to her and tell all of their inner secrets. Well, True is doing the exact same thing here. Now, this scene in particular in episode 2 was why I wasn't so taken back when they just kind of dropped the name the Galanthe, because I wanted to know what the finishing syllables of that word were. But here it is, clear as day. I mean, she literally says, I'm looking at street maps. I'm not from here.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for her. The entire other fucking soul, eh? Give me something I can shake at her. A dolly, a pretty dolly. All of London.
She says, I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for her. The entirety of her, her fucking soul. And she is actually talking about the fact that, like, Amalia is not Amalia. Now, the question is, how would Melody really know this? Who knows? But she's saying, I'm not looking for her. I'm looking for her.
That you needn't act only from pain.
Who? I just meant, have you always wanted to be in the theatre?
So this scene actually has 2 hints in it. One, Mary says you needn't act from pain, and that is what my song reminds you of, or tells you. We obviously find out later that Melody's power is that she kind of thrives off of pain, and that makes her stronger. And then secondly, this last line that I thought was just kind of like a throwaway comedic line where she's like, have you always wanted to be in the theater? And I started to think a little bit more about it, and I was like, the first time we see Melody, she is putting on a performance. She is on stage, she's giving a theatrical monologue, and then the next we kind of see her, she's talking to Mary, and she's like, how did you get interested in theater? Does anybody else see how this ties into the whole, I'm going to pretend to be Effie Boyle for a little while and switch places? Well, she's obsessed with theater. She doesn't care about really anything else besides how Mary got interested in theater, and then the scene cuts, and it's insinuated that they spent a long time talking about Mary and how she got involved in theater, and maybe it's something that Sarah/Melody was always interested in.
He mocks me, and he sends a demon after me.
Demon.
The woman who sheds her skin. Oh, she's coming. She wants a song. But you don't.
The woman who sheds her skin. Amalia, Zephyr. She's not Molly. Yeah, you could also take this as like, you know, quite literally sheds her skin, sheds her friends, screws her friends over, however you want to take it. But it is definitely a huge hint at something more that's happening. Also, Malady keeps referring to he, and we think that she means like God and receiving this message from God. But then she later says in the same scene, she wants his song. So God to her is the Galanthe.
Mostly I feel calm. I know where I am in a fight. It's one of the few times I do.
I know what you mean. I don't get the part where you know what you mean.
I've had more experience with violence than I would have liked.
Your late husband. It doesn't.
This was a really interesting scene that I never took any interest in when I first watched it, but Amalia is saying, I know where I am in a fight, I know where I belong, it's where I feel most comfortable, and then Frank is like, I don't really know what you're talking about, but like I also do know what you're talking about, and obviously this is because Amalia is a soldier who has fought many battles in the future.
Is she your new best friend?
I don't know how to do this. This riddle me shit. It's beneath you.
Is she your new best friend? This obviously ties into the fact that Sarah and Molly/Amalia kind of had this powwow in the mental institution that we see in episode 6, but, you know, totally meant more to Sarah than it did to Zephyr, Amalia, True.
You're the woman who sheds her skin.
You mean my dress?
I mean, your friends. I mean, well, you know, a friend's the one you trust to trust you back. Molly.
I mean, once again, this is just all here. This is the first time that they really realize what's going on. And when she says, a friend's the one you trust to trust you back, that is exactly what Molly, Zephyr, Amalia says to Sarah when she's laying in bed. And she actually kind of means it like she's kidding when she first says it.
You know, Sarah, a friend's the one you trust to trust you back.
Well, yes.
Sarah, I didn't... Oh, God, I didn't know what happened to you.
What happened? You fed me to them. I woke up every morning in their teeth that chewed me, cut me, raped me into tiny bits and then put me back and then ground me up and then put me back. And the 2 whole years of screaming while you dined on beef and ground up and never cared and never looked. You said you were my friend.
I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice.
Because you had a mission. Yeah. Well, God gave me a mission too.
Okay, so once again, this one just kind of gives you everything you need. You know, Malady says, you have a mission. True is like, I didn't have a choice, because True at that moment really wanted to get out of the mental institution and just thought that she could kind of distract the doctor that was in and kind of figuring out why she was here and what was going on by throwing this other girl, not to the wolves, but to her, was kind of just like taking the heat off of herself, which, yes, was not the right thing to do by any means. And it makes sense why Malady/Sarah would feel the way that she does, but
I do have a mission. I didn't ask for it. I'm not cut out for it. But it matters.
again, this is another hint to Amalia having a mission, that she wasn't cut out for it, because she literally is like, why the hell did you bring me back? I was done. I was over this. I'm not a leader. Now here we are in the Victorian era, just, you know, living life.
I've been ignoring it, Frank. I've ignored a lot of things, which you know that I do.
Being touched. Is that why he didn't go through with the
Please,
wedding?
Frank. I'm so tired.
Mary's like, I know I've ignored a lot of things, like your homosexuality. And then he presses her and says, is the reason that you left me because you are touched? And she's like, oh, Frank, I can't have this conversation. And it's like he's looking for every outside thing that doesn't involve him to be the reason that she left. He is unwilling to admit to himself that the reason that she left him was because he was a homosexual. Tune in for next episode where I go into the foreshadowing in episode whatever it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Think about subscribing and commenting about the foreshadowing that you might have seen that I might have missed, or things that I did not comment on. Tell me what you loved about the Nevers. If you're feeling a little bit spicy, please think about liking this video, subscribing to my channel, following me on Twitter, maybe checking out my Patreon, donating to my Bitcoin wallet if you just want to like show support for the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.